Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm joined here with
Isaac, how's it going?
and today we're going to be reviewing some Mark 6s. So
And just an overall what to buy, what not to buy, what to look out for
what to mod
in these cars.
Yeah, so we're joined by a few other people around here as well.
Don't
I'll
think
put
they're in
their
the shop, to be fair.
Instagram tags with who's here and who's not, and we'll run over some of the little bits that we've got here, some of the mods that you can do in your car, and yeah, so we'll jump straight into it.
Let's go. Okay, so Toby, why don't you tell me what you've done to this car, or more, what haven't you done to this car?
So my car started out as a 125 style,
Fully standard as well.
fully standard,
which is fair
base
play.
model, and we've put all of the ST bumpers, ST side skirts, spoiler. We've done the seats, the interior. We've got a whole
Full
low-line kit.
Yeah, jinx.
And we've done some little mods on the engine bay. We've got a nice air filter, got a nice 5-inch Jap can on the back,
Headlights.
some nice DRL headlights, and it's basically just a really nice spruced up sort of show car, daily driver.
Yeah.
Still keep it as a daily driver just to do my
I mean,
day to day.
The 1.25s, they're not actually too slow for what they are.
For what they are,
they're good miles per gallon, really cheap to insure.
Really cheap.
If you want something that looks nice, this is what I'd say. But you're on a budget.
Exactly. You got lots of potential with it, lots of stuff you can do, lots of things to add on, and it's basically just a plain canvas for a really good build if you want to start something.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you've got loads of money that you want to burn, get an ST150 because they're great at that. Okay, these are the ST150s. They're both in Moondust Silver. They came in a few other colours, but in my opinion, this is the best colour, as everything here is Moondust Silver as well. What can I say about them? They're quite quick, they're really light, they handle like they're on rails. Well, like they're on rails until you run out of driver skill. 150 brake, 2 litre, naturally aspirated. It's a really good second car. Only thing you got to watch out for, they love to eat gearboxes, drive shafts, engine mounts, burn oil. It sounds like I don't want you to get it, but they are really, really, really fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I say take it from this guy, he knows. How many have you had?
So I've had 4 STs, a Zetec S and a 1.2.
And
it's quite a bad obsession, but they're just really good cars. They have broken a few of them though. One's in the scrapper.
How many gearboxes have we gone through recently?
Well, the last car I had, which was blue, you might know it, that went through 3 and 2 months, went through 2 drive shafts and 2 engine mounts, I think.
So they have their problems, but
I think that was just an unfortunate turn of events, and I was
giving their due.
They're not driven very nicely either, because I live out in the countryside. They're great for B-road bashing, which I know everyone says meet me on the back roads for a Fiesta, but I'd say it's quite true.
I'd say they're a really good car for what you can get.
For the money, they're at the bottom of their price range as of now. They've started to creep up a little bit.
As Ben says, future classic.
Future classic, yeah. I mean, I've done not much to this one. It's standard ride height, unfortunately. ST170 wheels, front splitter. It's got a rear diffuser as well. But obviously,
little bits, just nice touches to make it on point.
Yeah.
And over here, as well, we've got our other one by another good friend. We'll put his Instagram or his TikTok, or if he's got a YouTube tag as well, and we'll give him his little mention.
This one's a lot more tame.
A lot more nicer, I'd say. Here, we've got another prime example of a relatively good, in my opinion, ST. So we've got the nice mount tune intake, cold air intake. I think this is one of the best options you can get for intakes on an ST.
A bit fucking spenny, but
yeah, a bit expensive, but that's what you get with the mount tune stuff. And
Yeah.
sounds great as well. We'll put some sound clips in a minute of all of the cars. And power-wise for STs, you are still obviously restricted by it being naturally aspirated, unless you've got big bucks to do a turbo.
It's about $2.5 grand
supercharger.
for a turbo kit, which is the cheapest option. But then these engines aren't really strong enough
They're
to
not really
go
strong enough.
for turbos.
And you don't actually get as much power gain as you would think out of them for
Yeah.
what you're
But
paying
you
for
can make
it.
about 200 brake with a map, exhaust, cams. That's all you need really. But that's again about $1 grand and a bit for that.
But then again, you've got to factor in it's $1 grand for a cheap car already.
Exactly.
And
So if you're going to go for like a track build or just something that's really fast around the corners,
An
focus on
ST.
coilovers, poly bushes. That's all you need really.
Coilovers and poly bushes, some brake upgrades, a little
Yeah.
bit of power here and there, good sounding exhaust, and you've got yourself a really good build for probably sub 6k.
I'd probably say sub 3k to be honest.
Sub
Depends on
3K.
how much you buy the car for.
It depends on the bits you get as well and what you buy.
Some of the STs I've bought have been less than $1 grand.
Yeah,
And it's great. They have broken, but it's great.
it's reliability wise as well for what you want to put in it. I'd personally rather have a lower mileage car that's more reliable for that, but other people may disagree with that.
They're just
or
breaking
agree.
in at 100k.
You get yourself a really good car for a really good budget, and as you can see, the car, looks wise, they're really not that bad. Obviously, everyone who doesn't know them says, oh, it's just a Fiesta, but at the end of the day, most people, you get what you can get, and for the price point that these are at, it's one of the best performing cars you can buy for the money.
And unlike the modern hot hatches, there's not many of them about. I think there's about 5,000 left on the road in the UK, which comparative to how many cars there are, that's not much at all.
Not much
so
at all.
People will look if they're into cars, whether they look with hate or with love. That's up to their decision, isn't it?
Right, so you're probably thinking, why would I buy an ST150 over other options like Fabia VRSs, EP3s, and some of the other hot hatches for around probably the 2k mark?
2, 3k,
3K
even 1k
mark.
maybe, depending on what nick you want it. I mean, the only real factor of getting these is price. They're really cheap.
As you were saying earlier, they're at the bottom of their sort of price point.
They're at the
right
age
now.
where they're either getting scrapped or they're minters, so they're going to start going up.
Yeah.
Future classic. But yeah, EP3s, they're really good cars. They're just a lot of money at the moment. That's the only thing I'd say. VRSs,
VRSs, again, it's certain people's preference.
it's a diesel at the end of the day.
I don't really like diesels.
They can sound nice with a nice popcorn map or straight through exhaust. They do sound nice, but
do have a good bit of tone, but
these sound great. We'll get some clips.
we'll get
later,
some exhaust clips in a minute.
Yeah.
And for the price that you can mod these cars as well, I think you can't compare it.
There's
Like-
lots of modifications.
And especially even like if you don't want expensive modifications, some of the cheaper mods, they still do pretty well. They last pretty good.
I mean, Facebook Marketplace is your best friend, really.
Yeah,
you
can get lots on
genuinely
Facebook
you find
Marketplace.
so many deals on there. So if you're going to get some mods and you want them for cheap, just keep your eye out really on Facebook Marketplace.
Lots of Facebook Marketplace and eBay breakers as well, like local areas to Surrey, London, sort of Northways near Birmingham as well. You get quite a few, especially for lots of ST bits. Like you can pick up bumpers, spoilers, other
I'd probably
mods.
steer away from Birmingham, but that's
No
each
cars
their
from
own.
Birmingham.
No cars from Birmingham.
But even mod-wise, you can pick up an exhaust, stainless exhaust, back box, sub £200.
Well, I'd say with the STs, the back box delete is probably the best sounding. I know it's back box delete's pretty boy racery, but it's 50 quid off eBay and they sound amazing. I had it on my old car, and it's not too loud, but when you open it up, it's really nice.
And you can even get stuff like wheels, 4x100 wheels. They're so available online and on places like Facebook Marketplace as well.
Yeah.
You can pick up a good set for under £500. Maybe you have to put some new tyres on it, but get yourself a really good looking wheel for a really good and fair price, I'd say. And even the smaller bits, you got bits like coilovers, you got poly bushes, you got low line kits. They're all within a fair budget.
One thing I wouldn't recommend getting is coilovers second-hand. That's
Yeah,
one
we
thing you want to
don't
steer away
recommend
from. I know you
coilovers
might think
second-hand.
coilovers are expensive, but it's worth the money. Well, it's just whether you want to go springs or
more,
coilovers.
It's more of a quality over quantity kind of thing.
Yeah.
And springs, you can still get a good set of springs for relatively cheap.
I've had springs in my car and they've handled really nicely.
They work really well, especially on the STs. I know a lot of them that do race don't use coilovers, they race springs instead.
Bilstein shocks and springs.
Bilstein shocks and springs. And that works. It's good, track focused.
Obviously, coilovers, you get the adjustment, which is why a lot of people like it, because it's more your own preference, isn't it?
You get to set it up the way you want it set up. But at the same time, you can still opt for a set of springs for maybe about £100, and you still get a good ride and a good daily car for the option. Right.
Sorry, you said good ride.
Oh, shut up. Right. So, you join us here in the interior of an ST150. As you can see by where Isaac's pointing, they come as standard with half leather and half cloth seats. And in some cases, you can actually get them in full leather.
And they're heated.
And they're heated, which is another extra bonus. And on top of the full leather or half leather seats that you get in an ST, you do also get is it leatherette? I think it's more of a leatherette, but a leatherette steering wheel, ST steering wheel.
And you get a blue dash, which is actually squishy.
Blue squishy dash. Squishy is for extra horsepower, as all of you know. And it is a really nice interior for a really simple car. Obviously, you don't have any of your modern preferences like Apple CarPlay,
but you can retrofit them, which I've done and a lot of people I know have, because it's just better for
much
ways,
easier,
stuff like that.
Much easier for most people nowadays, but
it's like £100, so you can't really
go wrong. And I'd say for its age, these interiors are one of the most simplest forms of interior that you can get. You know, it's just you in the car with a steering wheel and a shifter, and that's exactly what you want out of these kind of cars. It's just raw driver focused performance that you get from a simple and cheap car.
And I love the embroidered ST logo. It's sort of like, well, whenever you're taking a photo, like a selfie, you've got to get that in, you know? You've got to get the ST badge in.
Of course, you've got to get the ST badge in, as all of the fellow ST drivers will know. So, what else have we got?
And if you don't have an ST, get the seats off like Facebook Marketplace, and
you can find them really cheap.
Fit. It's just a load of T45, T55s.
Yeah, it's just a couple of T45s, I think it is. A couple of bolts. You can take your old ones out, put the new ones straight in. They fit straight on the original, like little roofs.
I'd just say a really cheap upgrade, really, and they're comfier, the ST ones, because they're more like half bucket, so they really hug you.
They're really hugging in comparison to the old ones, I know, because I've changed them out of my car. But you just really want to have a look for a really good set, because you notice on them as well when the leather starts peeling and you start getting little scrapes on them, it starts to improve. It won't be improved. Let's pause there.
Degrade.
It starts to degrade the look of the seats and the look of the interior, and although it's not really a major issue, for the price difference, it's much more worth it to have a really, really clean seat instead of a mediocre one, because it just makes your interior look a whole lot better in comparison. So you're probably thinking, which is the best Mark 6 for me? So if you're on a low budget and you've just passed your test and you want to get involved with modding some cars, having a nice little run around, you're not too fussed about getting anything too fancy as of right now, and you just want something to start you off, a 1.2 is your perfect option. It's relatively cheap on insurance, and for what you get for the price, you can't really
go wrong. I mean, they don't break down at the end of the day.
They have no issues. You don't really have any major problems with them. As long as you keep up with your service intervals, they're fine. They have no issues.
Yeah. And
you can sort of fit the 1.4s and some of the 1.6s into that sort of bracket, because they are realistically the same thing. There's slight power differences.
Well, but the Zetec S, I went from a 1.2 to a Zetec S, and the difference I found is the Zetec S's are 100 brake. The difference that I found was insane. Because it was my second car, I was like, oh my God, 100 brake, this feels like a lot. You do get used to it, but it feels like a lot, especially for your first or second car.
It is still a reasonable horsepower figure for an age of, I don't know, 17,
You're not going to off yourself in it. It's not that fast, but it's fast enough
but it's fast enough to have fun in.
Yeah.
And you also get another advantage of the good sort of ST sound, where you get those sort of higher rev range noises, and I think it's more of like a sort of sort of higher pitched tone that makes the sound difference in comparison
They
to
just
a
have no
125.
top end. That's the only bad thing with them.
You run out of a bit of top end
Yeah.
in comparison to an ST.
Yeah, but then they don't really have problems, unlike the STs.
No, they don't have problems like the STs as well.
So I'd probably
And
say the ZTEC is your best bet if you want that in between.
If you,
I mean,
if
it
you
is
want a
literally
sort of in between bit, and you don't want a diesel, and you still want a nice sounding good car, and you also get the extra of having the ST bumpers, and you get a little spoiler.
Only thing you don't get is the side skirts, but you can find them pretty cheap off again Facebook Marketplace or eBay or just a breakers in general.
Another extra.
Yeah.
And considering that that's the only thing that sort of really sets it apart looks wise, I wouldn't think it's really too much of a compromise. And next, what have we got? We got diesel. You can go for diesel options.
It's pretty much the same to the ZTEC S. I mean, they're both ZTEC S's, they're both 1.6s, but
Both 1.6
there's a lot more you can get out of them power-wise, obviously, because they come with the turbo.
And you do get the advantage of having extra mile per gallon, but I think the only thing that lets it down is the sort of stuff that you want out of a hot hatch, like good raspy tone, good sound. You don't really get that out of the diesel because it just doesn't have the capabilities to rev so high, but some people will be willing to sacrifice that for the mileage that you get on a tank.
Yeah.
And then our final option, Isaac's favourite option, is the ST. So obviously you get the advantage of more power than all the other options, and you get the whole shebang. You get all of the bumpers,
upgraded
side skirts,
suspension, interior. You don't have to buy those stuff. It comes. You don't need to do much to it other than maybe lower it, side skirts, a bit of looks wise, and then if you're pushing big power on it, then you can get like carbon stuff, but again, it's just the car's not really worth that much money.
I'd say
put 800 quid in just carbon fenders.
For a really good hot hatch, for a price of maybe a grand to maybe $5 if you want a really, really, really clean one.
Yeah.
I'd say for that option, as standard, they come pretty much ready to go. You don't need to touch it. So
it's just the reliability. They burn oil. That's the one thing I'd check out for. Burn oil, valve seals and piston rings. They love to go. So, you know, just look out for it. And then gearboxes, any hairline cracks, I'd get that checked out. Do the engine mounts on it. Other than that,
just precautionary measures, really.
Yeah, they're good cars, and they're ragged.
I'd say if you're maybe a 19 or 20-year-old, you're on a bit of a small budget, you've got maybe 1 or 2 years and no claims, and you want something that's reasonably fun and doesn't set you back too much, I'd say it's one of the best options that you can pick.
Well, I'd say with the ST though, the biggest thing with the ST, the biggest expense will be fuel and insurance. I mean, on a motorway, they get really good miles per gallon. I get about 35, 40 on the motorway, but I've also got an 18 out of it. And then insurance, last year I was paying 350 quid a month.
Yep.
Now it's gone down a lot. Now I've got a year's no claims, but insurance, just don't get written off for insurance. It's a mistake.
Yeah, I'd say maybe not so much a good appeal to a 17, 18-year-old. Maybe give yourself a couple of years of driving and a little bit of time and you can get yourself one. But you've got yourself a really good car for what you get.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a particularly mint one. You've got lots of options to do lots of stuff to it, and it'll be relatively cheap, and it still gives you loads of fun. So,
we'll get into the sound clips.
Our favourite part, the sound clips.
Wait, no, am I? Shall I do this or no? I really don't want to hurt my ears. Actually, no. I'm gonna not do this.
Hi guys, so now we're entering the part of the video where I asked a few people to send me some clips of their builds. Before we get into those, I just want to say a special thanks to MK6 Ollie and H-Bomb here. I'll put their TikToks on the screen somewhere so you can go and follow them, as well as MK6 Supremacy and FX Car Spots as well. I'll put all of their TikToks on there so you can go and have a follow, have a look at their accounts, because they actually came to the event where we recorded. So big thanks to these guys. As always, everyone is always nice and showed up and took some photos and had a great time. So big thanks to these guys. I'll add their stuff on the screen here now.